The moment the courtroom fell silent, the defendant pointed not at the judge, not at the jury, but upward, toward an invisible force none of them could see. Gravity did this. Laughter rippled through the room. Pens paused mid-scribble. Even the judge leaned back, convinced this would be the strangest excuse he'd hear all year. A man stood accused of causing a serious accident, one that left property destroyed and people shaken. The expectation was simple: admit fault. Pay the fine. Move on. Instead, he told them gravity was to blame. The case seemed straightforward on paper. A routine task, a sudden fall, a moment of chaos. Authorities called it carelessness, negligence, human error. But the man refused to accept that version of events. Not because he denied what happened, but because he believed the law itself had misunderstood why it happened. He spoke calmly, methodically. He described the weight of his body, the angle of motion, the unseen pull acting on every object in the room. He explained that no reckless decision caused the fall, only the same force that keeps planets in orbit and oceans bound to the Earth. The courtroom shifted. The judge raised an eyebrow. The prosecutor scoffed. But the man persisted, painting a picture that felt uncomfortably logical. He wasn't saying gravity was unusual. He was saying it was inevitable, that under identical conditions, the outcome would repeat, every time. Experts were called. Diagrams appeared. Angles, forces, equations. What began as a joke turned into a debate about causation itself. At what point does responsibility end and physics begin? Tension crept in. The prosecution argued that gravity affects everyone equally, and that millions navigate it safely every day. The defense countered that the law punished choice, not inevitability. If gravity was the decisive cause, then intent became irrelevant. The courtroom grew quiet again. When the verdict came, no one expected it. The judge ruled that the prosecution had failed to prove negligence beyond the unavoidable force of nature acting on the defendant. The accident, he said, lacked sufficient evidence of human error. Gravity had won. The man walked free, not because gravity broke the law, but because the law had never fully accounted for it. And long after the courtroom emptied, the case lingered in legal textbooks and late-night conversations, reminding us of something unsettling. That we live our lives believing we are in control, until an invisible force reminds us otherwise. If this story made you look at the world a little differently, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment below to help the channel grow.